unbelievable. I wish I could do what you do. I had to talk about chicken and eggs because I can't do that. Bears, thanks for being here. Guys, it's an honor to be here. If you've not heard me before, I apologize. If you have heard me before, it's on you. I'm just going to take a few minutes and kind of give you my perspective on what the business is, and then talk a little bit about what you got to do, maybe a little training on the business. Is that fair? Yeah. I think first and foremost, you got to understand it's simple, and that's why I'm standing up here. I mean, honestly, I'm not ever going to win any great intelligence awards. I'm not going to be recognized for being the smartest or the best. I just saw something that made sense. I mean, before I got in this business, my only claim to fame, Chip, was there was 19 people in my graduating class. I graduated in the top 20 of my class. I'm not going to impress you tonight. I'm just going to prove to you if Jethro can do it, you can get it. The biggest thing that I get tickled about is people who look at this business and then walk away from it. It just blows my mind. And I'm certain it's because they just truly don't grasp what it is. Because the truth of the matter is, whether you do this or not, whether you think it's smart or dumb, everybody you know is going to pay an electric bill next month.
That's right.
Everybody you don't know is going to pay an electric bill next month. Yes?
Yes.
So why wouldn't you want to get paid when people do something they're already doing? And I got to tell you, this mobile service deal, I'm not been real big on cell phones. And everybody likes to say that's because they don't work where I live. And that's halfway true. We got to drive to the top of the hill from my house. I ain't lying. I ain't making that up. I used to tell people we live so far back in the country, we don't get Monday Night Football till Wednesday afternoon. But with this merger of Sprint and T-Mobile, and this 5G that's coming, guys, that's going to be industry changing. And we are partnered. We're positioned to be part of that. See, I used to think electricity was the best deal. And guys, it's made me millions. I love electricity. You know, if you didn't have electricity, you'd be sitting home watching Wheel of Fortune in the dark. You didn't get that, right? But cell phones, that's even better. Everybody has a cell phone. Homeless people got cell phones. Probably they don't pay no electric bill, but they got that cell phone. So if you can get paid on electricity or cell phones, can we agree that's a good deal? Yes. But what amazes me is most people think what they're doing is just going to get better. Being open to a plan B, to another option. You heard Amy talk about it. I told my best friend no. I told him I wasn't interested in this, and I had a lot of reasons. I live in an area where it's not available. I've got to drive at least 3 hours one way till I get to my first customer. I've never, ever been able to sign up myself on any of the services. Now, I got a Stream cell phone, it just don't work. It's a real nice door stopper. But the reality is, it's not about you, it's what you start. And so you go to try to tell people about this, and you try to explain it to them, and they just don't get it. And most people are so busy doing what they're doing, but it ain't working. Reminds me of the two brothers back home. They go to Hope, Arkansas, buy a truckload of watermelons for $1 a piece. Drive all the way down to Dallas, sell them watermelons $1 a piece. They make a second trip. This time they got a trailer and a truckload of watermelons. Bought them $1, went to Dallas, sold them for $1. On the way back home, one brother turned, looked at the other and said, "Hey man, we losing money." Second brother said, "Yeah, I figured it out. We need a bigger truck." You want the lesson? Do you want the lesson? Yes. If you've been doing what you're doing and it ain't getting no better, why wouldn't you try something else? It ain't like we're asking you to go give up a kidney, liver, or lung. $199. That's what this. I have had a Saturday night that cost more than that.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't more people do it? I'll tell you why I think they don't understand it, number one, or maybe number two, they don't know what they got to do. That's what I'm going to spend my few minutes talking about. As I said, Eddie did a great job. I can't do what Ed did. I can't go through all them numbers and them slides and all that. Here's the way I've explained my business from day one. I call customers eggs. Everywhere you look, there's eggs. Every light you see is an egg. It's attached to a meter loop. Every house, every business, every mobile home. Everywhere you look, there's a light. It's a customer, a potential customer. I call them eggs. If you understand, go uh-huh. Uh-huh. For $199, this company gives you a basket. Your job is to put a few eggs in the basket. If you understand, go uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, there's some real big egg collectors here that use wheelbarrows, right? But the reality is, I don't care how good you are. You can't get enough eggs to change your life financially. You can enhance it. You can certainly improve it. But hear me. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many baskets you can count. So then what you do is you go get you some chickens. I know it's technical. If you're a guest here tonight and you're invited, the reason they invited you, they want to see if you want to be a chicken. Because see, here's what happens. When you hatch a chicken, they lay a few eggs, they get paid, you get paid. You got it? Yeah. So the more chickens you have, the more eggs they lay. If you got enough chickens, you can have all the eggs you want. If you understand, go uh-huh. Uh-huh. But this is what will keep you up at night. This is what sets us apart. This is what makes Stream different than most companies I've ever seen. Even if the chicken dies, the egg is still there. It ain't like you gotta call them up every month and say, hey man, you need some more kilowatts? I got some in my trunk. They're gonna use it, they're gonna pay it. What we found is once people switch, once they understand and realize it's free to switch, nothing changes. Same guy keeps reading your meter, same people fix the poles and wires. The only thing different is you're saving a little bit of money. And they just habitually pay that bill. I've got customers that have paid their bill now for 14 years.
Amen.
Do you understand? Because I have 26 eggs. That's all I got. 26 eggs. Because the company says I got to have 20 to get paid on all the eggs below me. So I got 6 that can die. And I'm still okay. But I call my customers up every 6 months and I say, man, thank you. Thank you for being my customer. Because you're my customer, because you're an egg to me, I get paid on thousands and 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 thousands. I want to do it till you smile. And thousands. Because of you, I get paid on a lot of people's energy bill. If you ever quit being my customer, I'm going to burn your house. You got to build that rapport. And then you realize it ain't about you. It ain't what you do. You ain't got to be the big rooster, the peacock, the ostrich. You ain't got, all you do is start it. That's it. Y'all know that book in the Bible where so-and-so begat so-and-so, begat so-and-so? You ain't got to do all the begat. You just beget the first few. And the reality is that they tell a few who tell a few. And even if those people quit, or like Tommy, right? You take a few years off, those checks keep coming. God, that just makes sense. I'm just going to stop right there and tell you, if what I've said so far don't make sense, leave. I can't help you. So it's simple. simple, but it ain't easy. Hear me. This is the nastiest, hardest, ugliest thing you'll ever do, besides a job or a career or business. I mean, honestly, what's the worst that can happen? Somebody says no. That's it. No. How many of you in here, guys, how many of y'all married? Like you ain't heard no before. And I guarantee you ain't quit asking. Now, I can sympathize with you because I got hurt early on. I still get hurt. I got stood up twice this weekend. People I'm trying to show this business to personal. I've made millions with this company. I drive a free Tesla. I've got a Mercedes. Our double wide has underpinned the whole way around. And they stood me up. They didn't want to look at it. They didn't want to talk about it. And it kind of I remember early on, I had a guy tell me, I know about a guy who got that thing. Did that deal. Lost his house. It's $200. What kind of house was it? Next time, tell him to take the wheels off of it. True story, sir. I had a young couple sit down with them about the second year in the business. I'm explaining it to them. They said they wanted to pray about it. Hear me, someone wants to pray about it. I'm all in on that. You're going to pray about it. But hear me, if you can't pray it up in 24 hours, you got more problems than that. So I tell them, I'll call you this time tomorrow. Called them up, said, y'all ready to get going? Let's make some money. Let's get you started. The guy said, well, we'd love to, but we can't. I said, why? He said, we're trying to have a baby. It's a home-based business. It ain't a contraceptive. Here's my point. You can put your boots in the oven, that don't make them biscuits. Just because people say something don't mean it's so. You're going to have all kind of people tell you that won't work. I know a guy did that, and hear me. Unless they're paying your mortgage, unless they're putting your kids through school, unless they're helping your elderly parents or taking care of your retirement goals, I would submit to you, it don't matter what the heck they say. Almost got dirty right there. Hey, I'm hearing some of this for the first time myself. So it's hard, and people laugh at you. And hear me, I think that's one of the reasons I was able to get out. I've been laughed at my whole life. You can't walk around in a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, and a lady's scarf around your neck. I don't care. Here's what I've learned. People call you crazy. That's okay. When you get money, you just become eccentric. Quit worrying about what other people think and start worrying about what you're thinking. What are you telling yourself? Because I'm telling you right now, this whole battle of being successful or not is what you tell yourself. How many of you talk to yourself? Raise your hand. Leave them up. The rest of you going, I ain't raising my hand. You're talking to yourself right now, yes? So what are we going to start telling ourselves? Well, I'm going to tell you what you need to tell yourself. Number one, most important thing I can tell you all night. Don't quit.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Don't quit. I made 7 trips to Houston, Texas before I got my first chicken in Houston. Now, you got to understand the geography. From D Queen to Houston is 7 hours one way. I get out of my truck, I go up there, knock on the door, they open the door all surprised. I'm like, y'all ready for the meeting? Oh, we forgot you was coming. Good to see you too. 7 hours home. Came back the next week, 7 hours down. They were there. They knew I was coming, but no one else showed up. 7 hours home. Third trip, 7 hours down there. I get out of the truck, go walking up. The lights go out. TV goes off. 7 hours home. Now hear me, they ain't even signed up yet. I just talked to them, they're a family friend. My parents and their parents were best of friends when we lived in Texas. I was born and raised in Texas. I'm a Texan that moved to Arkansas. When I moved from Texas to Arkansas, I raised the IQ in both states. My fourth trip, they had this guy they wanted me to talk to. His name was Jerry. Jerry showed up, Jerry looked at it, and Jerry said, "You have no credibility. This company has not even started paying people for getting customers yet. I couldn't do something like this. Like it's nasty or something, right?" 7 hours home. Because of Jerry, my friends wanted to quit before they even got started. I don't think we're going to sign up. We've tried to have 2 or 3 meetings. No one shows up. Jerry came. He was our only hope. He didn't want to do it. I said, "Man, don't quit. Come on, we can do this." Guys, on my 6th trip, I drive down there, and I meet a guy by the name of Bob. Bob was driving a beat-up Ranger pickup. It had a hefty trash bag for a rear window. In the back of it was an old beat-up chest freezer. And on the side of his doors, he had handwritten on paper and duct taped it up there, "Bob's Fresh Meat." When Bob pulled up to the house, he jumped out of the Ranger, grabbed an extension cord, ran it up there, and plugged it into their house. I show him the business, and Bob says he don't want to do it. Bob says he knows about these deals. They're just scams. They're pyramids, and I was going to go to jail. And the whole time I'm thinking, well, hell, you can't even spell fresh. I had a lawyer one time, before I'm sitting down trying to show him business, before I even got through, he goes, pyramid, I know what that is, pyramid, wouldn't even let me talk. So I decided to have some fun with him. I just shut my book and I said, "You figured it out. Nobody else knows. But we cut a deal with the Attorney General in the state of Texas. We feel like we can do this for 5 to 6 years. He's going to let us keep all the money before he shuts us down. And we only have to do 6 months in a minimum security business." He leaned up and said, "It's just 6 months." Some stories might be a tad embellished. I promise you, I ain't drinking. Not yet, anyway. And unless you are, they ain't gonna get no better, bud. My point is, over 1/3 of my income now comes from that leg in Houston, Texas. The people who actually signed up have not worked the business in 11 years. But what grew from them, I'm paid on month after month after month after month. You see, it's real easy. If we knew what those 7 wasted trips would bring, we'd do it no matter. So the real question is, what do you believe now? I've never met anyone that was an overnight success. I don't care what industry, what field. You got to pay your dues, yes? Mm-hmm. So the first and foremost is don't quit. If you understand, go uh-huh. The second is don't be too quick to judge. Who would have ever thought that I could be a top earner? I guarantee you most people walk by me and not even have the time to think, to say, "Hey man, you ought to try this." You don't know. And I find in our society, we got to a point where we can just judge. Quit judging. I learned that not too long ago. I was flying from DFW out to Atlanta. It was in the winter. So I had my little suitcase, I had my briefcase, I had my big old overcoat, I had my spit bottle, and I'm going down through the terminal. Y'all don't carry spit bottles. I just realized I said that. I'm going down through the terminal, and then I got a whiff of them Cinnabons. Y'all smelt them? Man, that'd make you kill your step-granny to get one of them. That odor just comes out and whops you upside your head. So I turn and I take my little bags, I go walking over and I get one of them little cups, you know, the little paces and the dipping sauce for like $57. Unbelievable. They put them in a little white sack. I go on, I get to the terminal, and there's two gates right here, just one waiting area, and there's only one seat open right up here up front, right by Aunt B. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? This is sweet little blue-haired lady. She had on the little shawl that she crocheted herself, you know. And I asked if I could sit down. She said, "Why, sure." So I pile all my stuff. I put down my bag and my suitcase and my jacket and my spit bottle. And we get to talking, and I'm just having a great time. She is engaging. We're fun. We're having just a great conversation. And then all of a sudden, Aunt B reaches down and gets that white sack and opens it up and starts eating my Cinnabon. And I thought, you heifer. I mean, if you'd asked, I'd offer you anything. I'd give you whatever you want, but don't just go dip it in the mouth. I mean, I got over $50 in this thing. Well, I couldn't take it. I wasn't going to be rude to her, but I just reached in and started getting my share right then and there. And I'm telling you, friends, when I reached in and grabbed me a few of them, she soiled up, got mad, all hissy. She said some nasty words, man. And I thought, you old. And that's when the Cinnabon dip eating contest began right there. We both knew there was just a limited number in there. We're starting digging in that bag. And I'm shoving them in, she's shoving them in. Finally, they call her flight. She gets up, grabs her stuff, walks off, and just shaking her head and waving at me with one finger.
One finger.
And it just ruined my whole day. Right then and there, I was mad. I was aggravated. What kind of person? Well, they called my flight, so I reached down and I grabbed my briefcase. I got my suitcase. I picked up my jacket, and there was my white bag. Under my jacket. You want the lesson? Do you want the lesson? Quit being so quick to judge. Actually, one of the most successful young men I've ever worked with in my life. I heard he was coming for us all. Yeah, he was a jailer. I turned and looked, and there was this guy. They had pierced his ear 4 times, pierced his ear 5 times. He had one of them round deals in his nose, had a thing in his eyebrow, had that little pointy deal coming out of his lips. He looked like he fell face forward in a tackle box. So, me being me, I said, did they catch the guy that did that to you? I'll never forget, he went, I did it to myself. I said, why are you talking funny? He said, I got 2 of them in my tongue. And so I started asking him about his tattoos and about the piercings, and alternate lifestyle that he described. And we just finished. We just had a good visit. I wasn't judging. I was just engaging. I was talking. All of a sudden, he said, what do you do? Hard to believe I'm the top earner, right? What do you do? I got real serious. I leaned in, I looked at him and said, hey, bud, I look for people that ain't afraid to be different and want to make a lot of money. I'll never forget. Kid went, that's me! He actually ended up joining my team, and he didn't do a whole lot, but he signed up a lady who did nothing. He introduced me to one guy who did absolutely nothing. He introduced me to one lady who did nothing. He introduced me to a guy who is another 1/4 of my income. I thank him every day. He is my buddy. You want the lesson? Yes. Just talk to people. How you doing? What do you do? How long you done that? You enjoy doing that? Does your mama know you do that? If you'll listen and just engage, pretty soon they're going to tell you why they need this business. There ain't a person out there that don't need residual income. There ain't a person out there that don't want mailbox money. I don't care how much you got. You want some more. I don't care how much you got. You want some more.
Yeah.
So what is it we got to do? Well, first, we got to work. I'm going to tell you what the work is. It ain't really going to meet. Hear me, this is great, and we should do this. This is where we come together, we love on each other, we lift each other up, we wash all that negativity off, we celebrate our successes. This ain't building a business. If sitting here makes you an associate, then sitting in a chicken house would make you a chicken. There's only two things that makes you a stream associate. You're getting some customers, and you're getting some customer getters. Got it? Because when you get a few customers, you get a check. Every time them customers pay their bill, you get a check. When you get a getter who gets customers, they get a check and you get a check. And when their customers pay their bill, they get a check and you get a check. Got it? And even if they quit getting, you keep getting, whether they got it or not. Got it? So what we got to do, Randy? Well, we got to work. And all that means is we ask some people to be our customers, and we ask some people to be our customer getters. We go look for those chickens, and we go look for those eggs. And to do that, you got to work. That means you're going to have to give up some things. You're going to have to get away from that TV. You're going to have to take some time from what you like doing and maybe make yourself do something you don't like. Hear me. I didn't like driving back and forth to Texas. I like you guys. I like being here, but I'd a lot rather be home with my wife, my grandson, my kids. Sometimes we do things we don't want to do to have things we want. Yes? Yes. My son taught me that lesson. How many of you have children? How many of you ever once was a child? So pretty much everybody in the room can relate. We have 3 wonderful children. Our oldest, his name is Toby. He's married to Sarah. We're so thankful I got another daughter in the deal. They had our first grandson. His name is Elliot. We keep Elliot about twice a month. We're so blessed. We drive 3 hours up to Fayetteville. Hear me, we're 3 hours from everything. We drive 3 hours up to Fayetteville, Arkansas. We'll keep him and we'll come back down. It's just a blessing. Our middle child, Kinsey, she's expecting. She's a teacher. It's her first year as a second grade teacher. And she's expecting Marshall, who will be due in April. Actually, their due date is the weekend of ignition. So if you see Marcy and I get up in the convention and go run it out, it ain't called her mad or nothing. All right? There's a bigger gift waiting back home. But we're going to be there, Lord willing. And then our youngest, we don't know how many kids he's got spread around. We know how many. His name is Tanner, and everybody calls him Little Randy, and he don't realize that ain't a compliment. He's our hardest working. He's a great kid. All 3 of them. We had to get them in rehab or take them out of jail yet, so we're blessed. A couple times I want to kill them, but Tanner started this deal when he was about 4 years old. He didn't want to go to bed. Y'all know that game? I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I got to go to the bathroom, I'm scared, or something on my bed. Well, I decided I was going to fix this, so I take Tanner up one night, and we do our prayers, and I tuck him in. I said, now look, we ain't going to play this game. You go to sleep. You understand? Yes, sir. Tuck him in. I go downstairs. I don't even make it down the stairs when I hear, Daddy! Daddy! Back up to the stairs. I flip on that light, and I said, boy, I don't want to hear it. I done told you. We ain't playing this game. You go to sleep. But Daddy, I'm thirsty. Suck on your thumb. I don't care. We ain't getting out of bed. If I hear another word out of you, I'm going to toast them honey buns. You hear me? Yes, sir. I mean, I ain't even touched him, just a threat. And while I'm on that, spank you, kids. Spank them. I ain't talking about abuse them like when you reach for a biscuit, they flinch or nothing. I mean, but make them say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, thank you. Thank you, ain't nothing wrong with it. Threw that in for free. So I got him convinced he's in trouble. So here I go, head down the stairs, get down there, I sit down in the recliner, I pick up that remote control to that income-reducing, life-stealing, time-devouring TV. You got somebody tells you they ain't got the time or money to do this, you tell them to take their TV to the pawn shop, and now they got both. Instead of watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, spend some time and go become one. Yeah. Hear me? That thing ain't doing nothing but wasting your life. Because what everybody does, everybody. When I grew up, we had 3 channels. 3. And if it was cloudy, we had 1. You'd go out there and pour water around the antenna pole, try to turn it, so you can see the weatherman. Now we got 483 channels, and every person does the same thing every night. Ain't nothing on. Well, I just sat down in the recliner, picked up that remote, and I heard, Daddy! Daddy, I'm thirsty! Boy, I come up out of that recliner like one of them kung fu warriors. I come out of that living room, I come around the end of that corner. When I got to the bottom of the stairs, I looked up, and there stood that 4-year-old man. He'd come out of his bedroom, standing at the top of the stairs, had his hands on his hips, looking down at me. Daddy! On your way up here to whoop me, would you bring a glass of water? You want the lesson? I don't know how thirsty you are, but you might have to take a beating and get ahead. I don't know how long I'm supposed to go, so I'm going to tell you one more and I'm done. Which one should I take?
The rain dance.
I don't remember either one of them. I remember the rain dance. I don't remember the bell.
Where's the check?
Oh, yeah. So back then they used to mail us our checks, right? And I remember I got my first residual check. Now I've been working this thing hard, 2 days a week, about 4 hours a day. Understand, folks, I lived in Arkansas. I'd get in my truck on Tuesday afternoon. I'd drive down to Dallas or Fort Worth or Lufkin. I'd go to Houston, and I would ride back that same night. Many times I slept on the side of the road with my truck because I had to get home. I had things I had to do. This was something I was trying to get started on the side. So don't tell me you ain't got time. Just tell me you ain't willing to pay the price. Well, I've been doing this 4 or 5 months, and we got our first residual check. I love that word, residual. Before I got in this business, I didn't know what it was. I thought residual was what you left in the bathtub after a hard day's work. Residual. You do it one time, you get paid over and over and over. Some of you ain't with me. We got any plumbers in here? You're a plumber. Would you rather get paid for putting the toilet in or every time they flush it?
Every time it flushes.
That's residual right there. I've had cows my whole life. I've had rental property. I've been chasing residual, but there's always something you got to do. You got to feed them. You got to fix them. You got to collect rent. The only thing I had to do was get this thing started. And hear me, it wasn't fun. And there was many times I wanted to quit. I think that's why Presley Swaggerty, the #1 money earner, so great. He's my best friend. He's the one who got me in. And I'd call him up and say, man, this thing's tough. I hate it. I went down there and none of them showed up. He said, don't give up. You can do it. Next trip. Everybody I talked to said no. Both of them. I just whined and complained and built my way to it. Well, we got that first residual check. $10.25. I was so excited. I went and showed my wife, who was my fiance at the time. I said, Marcia, look, $10.25 residual. I'll never forget, she said, oh, why don't I quit my job and go to Texas twice a week? Next month it was over 87. Next month it was over 400. The next month it was over $1,000. I got my first check with a comma in it. And that's when we started the Hedge House residual dance. On the 15th every month, we get up, put on her boots, her hat, and her bathrobe. And we do the money dance all the way out to the mailbox. Wait on the mailman. Stand come over and knock it. They doing it again. I don't know what and it just kept growing. 2,000, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000. We got to 10,000. I'll never forget it. Got to $10,000. I couldn't believe it. I said, Marcy, go get the truck. She said, what's wrong? I said, get that damn truck. She takes off. She gets the truck. She comes sliding inside. I said, what is it? I said, to the bank, baby, to the bank. She said, why? I said, I think they made a mistake. They might put it back. We're flying on that gravel road. We've been sliding in. I haul down. I go running down that gas station. I get back in the truck. And Marcy says, what are we going to do if they want it back? They shouldn't have sent it to me, man. Next month it grew by over 4,000 more, and folks, it just kept going. Now please, I ain't bragging, and I ain't telling you that'll happen for everybody, because very few of us are willing to pay the price. Disclaimer. But I will close with the reality of what it truly meant to me to have a residual income. About 2.5 years into it, my father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. If you've been around it, you know that's not good. So we knew Daddy didn't have long. So we made a decision. I was going to be with my dad. So for the next 11 months, I didn't send an email. I didn't make a phone call. I didn't do a meeting. I did nothing but be there with my mom and dad. I was at the hospital on all the surgeries. I was in intensive care. I was there at hospice. I watched my dad go home to meet the Lord. Every Friday, I got the check. On the 15th of every month, I got my residual check. And it went up. We didn't work for 11 out of 12 months, and our income rose almost $90,000. It was 87 and change. We moved from the number 8 money earner. Had a tongue transplant. My body. We moved from the number 8 money earner to the number 6 money earner, and I didn't work 11 out of 12 months. Don't tell me this don't work. Don't tell me you can't do it. Just be thank you. You had to give it to him, I'd shut up a lot quicker. Just tell me the truth. That you ain't willing to talk to people. You ain't willing to get out of your comfort zone. You ain't willing to put in a little work. Because that's all it's about. Now, I can't promise you you'll make millions, but you know what I can promise you? You can make a difference. And that's a fact. I've got friends that I never would have had because of this business. I've been blessed in so many more ways than financial. Tonight, the celebration y'all had is a prime example of that. Heck, I'd pay you just to get to be around me. Of course, you ain't met my family, you might understand why I pay. Don't listen to others. Be willing to put in the effort. Don't quit. And understand above all, you don't care who you are. What you can or can't do. It's just following a simple system. You understand everybody in this room has the exact same comp plan? Everybody in this room has access to the exact same training. Everybody in this room has the exact same rates. Everybody in this room has the exact same place they can go gather customers. There's no territory restrictions. There's no application. I'm looking at a couple young guys here. How old are y'all? How old are you? 36. said, I got cowboy boots older than you. Do you realize you do this right, by the time you're my age, you can buy an island? I'm serious. I wish I could have 30, 40 years in this thing. But you gotta pay that price. Don't let people steal your dream. I want to thank y'all for sharing the evening with me. I'm gonna stick around this.